And I listen to the sound that grows on up from the ground. Can you hear it now? Can you hear it now? Can you hear the song of birds? Should be singing in a circle, in a circle. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, mountain, thank you, forest, thank you, earth, thank you, rocks, all the animals, all the ancestors, all the elements and the directions, the four corners. My name is Mario Mijares, and I stand here before you in humble gratitude for this life, for all that surrounds me. I honor you beings here, known and unknown. I bow to you all in respects and humble gratitude. And at this time, I wish to play music from my heart to you, to the universe, in prayer for all of humanity, for all the animals, for all the elders, and most importantly for the children. In this time of deep confusion, turmoil, and chaos, I send my loving heart and gratitude from this mountaintop out to the collective field, out to the higher selves of every man, woman, and child of God, our Father, Mother God. I pray for an elevation in consciousness, for an opening of the heart, and a rekindling of courage and remembrance. open my heart, my portal, my mind to the higher beings, to the elementals, and the wisdom of my ancestors, and the wisdom and the knowing of my higher self. I open this portal now. This portal of gratitude for this life, for this body. I surrender. I surrender and open myself to soar in my faith, to soar in my prayers to you, Creator. And with this portal I open, I send all my heart's intentions of purity and goodness, of clarity and sobriety to ripple from this point at which where I stand on this mountain, to ripple like the ringing of a bell, to be carried by the winds, to be carried through the quantum field. May every man, woman, and child and creature of God feel this resonance, feel this love that I send forth now from the most sincerest and humblest places of my heart. Hello, everybody. Hope you are all doing well. My name is Mario Mijares, aka the Sleeping Shaman, aka the Salsa Shaman, aka the Blu-ray Bodhisattva. Today, I am standing at a very beautiful location out here in the Los Padres National Forest in Pine Mountain. It has been very special week for me being back here in California. Over the weekend, my wife and I were here attending a conference for human design, astrology, biohacking, Reiki, and a number of other wonderful healing modalities. And it was a great weekend of making new friends, reuniting with old friends, and just being in a high vibratory environment. And over the last few days, we've retreated back to a cabin about 6,300 feet elevation. Beautiful cabin here in the National Forest. And I had this wonderful opportunity to go on a spirit walk on myself, as my wife and her friends are having a gathering of their own privately back at the cabin. And so I figured this would be a wonderful opportunity to come play the flute and connect with the earth, with the land here. And I have no actual direction or intention of what to say in this moment here, but figured it would be a nice time to shed the layers and become vulnerable this time and to record it. And I may or may not share it with you all. You know, 2025 has been a beautiful year, full of wonderful moments and a lot of stress. This year has undoubtedly lived true to the fact that in numerology, it is a number 9 year. 2 + 2 = 4 + 5 = 9. And 9 being a year of completion, of ending. It is the last number in numerology. I mean, it's not the last number. I mean, of course, we go up to 11, 33, and other kind of master numbers, but from 0 to 9. I remember the last 9 year was 2016. That was very intense, transformative year. But this particular 9 year is also in the year of the snake in Chinese zodiac. And the year of, the Chinese zodiac, the last time we went through a year of the snake was 12 years ago. And the snake and Chinese zodiac and just in other understandings from cultures around the world, the snake represents a lot of different things. But in this particular conversation, I mean of shedding, releasing, transforming, because this is something that snakes do very often throughout their life. They shed the layers of their skin, of the scales, and remove the dead cells. And underneath those dead cells, underneath that skin that's coming out, is a brilliant, beautiful, new pattern of skin, of identity, of self. So in Chinese zodiac, with this being the year of the snake, and with this being a number 9 year astrologically, this year has undoubtedly been about ending cycles, coming to great endings, but not just ending the cycle, ending the story or situation, but transforming in the process of ending it and coming into the new cycle, new, transformed, more pure, more in alignment with the knowing of who you are, on a heart level. And that is very profound. It is very deep for all of us. Because I know all of us here have been going through the same vibrations, different contexts, different textures, different colors, different names, different places. But there is a thread, common thread, that is humming in the lives of all of us. Same karmic thread, a weaving. And, earlier this year, during the Chinese New Year, when the Year of the Snake began, I was at an ayahuasca San Pedro retreat somewhere in Maryland. And the Year of the Snake had just began. It was February. And that was also just when I received this flute. I bought this flute from a master flute maker in Guatemala. Beautiful man, beautiful human being who, born and raised in Wisconsin, now lives in Guatemala making some of the most beautiful musical art instruments you'll ever find. And I actually started buying this 3 years ago. And it took all that time for me to finish the payments. This is not a cheap flute, but I was gradually sending him payments, every few months to complete the purchase. And I just so happened to complete the purchase and received this flute at the same time of the beginning of the Year of the Snake, and was also synchronistically invited to participate in an ayahuasca San Pedro ceremony the weekend of the Year of the Snake beginning, and was able to bring my flute with me. And that was a very powerful weekend. The shamans I met were incredible humans, and I was able to realize a lot about myself in that retreat, and in my time being able to speak with the maestros, with the shaman. And now we're in December. We have less than 3 months of the Year of the Snake. We have a few weeks left of the number 9 year before we begin again to what will it be? A year one? Is that how it works? Because 10, 0, 0, cancel 0, 1, year 1, whole new cycle beginning. Year of the Snake coming to an end. And throughout this year of 2025 has undoubtedly been a year of shedding, of transforming on so many layers, so many levels. I no longer resonate with a lot of the things that I used to really resonate within the past 9 years. And there have been many deaths as well in my family. I lost a young niece, a young nephew. I never met them, but it was because they were taken and put into foster family before I ever had the chance to meet them, and they died very tragically and young. My grandfather died. And this year, on my birthday, not on my birth date, but exactly 7 days later, my mother died. And, all these deaths have really been heavy on my heart, to tell you the truth. And the process of grieving them has been a process of once again going deep into the karma and the journey that my family has been through. Not just me, but my family, my sisters, my uncles, my aunts, my grandfather, my parents. Because these deaths have been a reminder of the tragedy that has been existing in my family from one generation down to the next. And with my mom passing, I've had to not relive my past, my life, but reflect and feel it as I'm reflecting. Whatever residual programs, old beliefs, old thought patterns that have been ingrained from, my life and the things I went through, to see it, feel it, process it, and clear it and let it go. And not all of it's been easy. Not all of it's been easy. A lot of it's been private, internal battles with myself, and shame and guilt, and a lot of doubting if what I'm doing is the right thing, the right way. Because for as long as I can remember, there's been a lot of pressure on me as a man, as a young boy with many sisters, with strong female presence, to be perfect, to be a good man, to be a good boy, to be a good son, to be a good brother, to be a leader. There's been this pressure, this unconscious expectation that I've absorbed from many people in my family and in my life to be the one, to be the savior, to be the one that turns everything around, that saves us all, to become successful, to start a business, to make all the money, so that way I can buy homes, buy land, pay for this, pay for that. And I was that. I really did try to be that man for as long as I can remember. And that was my focus through all of my adult life until the last few years, where I started to realize that all that expectation, all that pressure, I don't have to accept that. It doesn't have to be what is meant for me. It doesn't have to be what I have to do. And that every single person in my family, even the poor children, they are here living their life. They are here with their own karma, with their own journey. And the circumstances are not the way that I want them to be, but I am here where I am, and they are all there where they are. And my life doesn't have to be revolved around not only saving them, but saving everybody. This pressure to be the guy. Because even when I worked in the nonprofit world, there was that pressure. Mario will be the face. Mario will be the speaker. Mario will be the one. We will train Mario. We will uplift Mario. We will support Mario in him being the leader, because he has the gift. He has the word. He has the energy. He has the charisma to lead, to speak, to connect. And I thought that that's what I wanted. I thought that that's who I am. And maybe it is to a degree. But how? greatest challenge this year, other than losing my mom, is dealing with a lawsuit against my uncle. My uncle, my mom's brother, stole a lot of money. He stole a lot of money from my mom. And the betrayal and the pain of that just brings me to do that work much more deeper. And I had to go through an extreme learning curve very quickly about self-worth, valuing, integrity, confidence, and standing up for myself. As all the folks that have gone through similar situations, or all the folks that like to give advice, say a lot of the same things. Let it go. Let it go. It's just better to let it go. I let it go. My brother did this. My uncle did that. My mom did this. So on and so forth. I just let it go. I just don't think about it. And, there are a number of ways of accepting that. There are a number of ways of perceiving that that's the higher ground to take, that that's the higher road to take. But that has not been what my life journey has been about. With everything that I've gone through, all the abuse, all the trauma, all the targeting, my life has not been about being completely disrespected, completely betrayed, lied to in my face, and just say, I'm gonna forget about it. I'm gonna just let it go. I can forgive, but this is about respect. This is about honoring myself, my life, my value, my family, my mother, and standing up for that. And not backing down from that, because I am not wrong in this scenario. My family is not wrong in this scenario. My uncle clearly stole everything out of integrity. And that's not right. So I had to learn, and in trusting myself, that it is okay to move forward and sue this man and sue my uncle, bring him to court. It has not been cheap. It has not been easy. But justice will be served. We're almost over. We're almost done with this. And once this is over and this is done, this whole chapter that has been my whole life since I've entered into this world through my mother, and in relation to this family, and all the baggage and the trauma and the karma that comes with it, is going to be completely closed. Over. There's nothing more there. That's it. My father, on the other hand, that's something else. That's not here yet. I don't know if we'll ever work that out. But this, on the other hand, who am I? Who do I want to be? How do I want to live? With everything that I have been through in life, how do I wish to move forward? How do I wish to co-create with the universe, with God? Because at this point, at age 35, going on to age 36, there are certain things that I know. granted, the things that I know are very, very, very minuscule to all that is, to all that I don't know, and to all that I think that I know. But the things that I know for certain is that there is a divine, benevolent, mystical force in existence. There are darker, nefarious, trickery, energies, entities, dimensions that exist. And I am open and sensitive to all of it. I've had profound experiences that have made it undeniable for me to say that there is no God, that there is nothing special about myself, my life, that there are no angels, that there are no guides, no demons, no aliens. These are things I know. I know all this is real. And because of that, I'm not lost. I'm not lost and I'm not afraid. And so how do I want to play moving forward with my life at the young age of 35? What else can I do? What is next? One thing that I've always wanted to be since high school is a published writer, an author. I actually had many writing projects that I've been working on for a very long time until they were stolen from me. About 10 years, maybe like 9, 8 years worth of literature that I hand wrote, books, novels, series, screenplays, poetry, were all stolen in 2016. Isn't that funny? During the last 9 cycle, that is the year they were stolen. Went through a brutal breakup. She stole everything. Went back to Ohio, took all my writing, left it in her car. Car got impounded. That's what she told me. It's gone. And after that, I became extremely discouraged from those projects, from writing. It was just something was taken from me. And over the last 9 years, the things that I've been through, the targeting, the bliss and the despair. Wow. 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 I had no idea. I had no idea the amount of timelines I jumped and switched. Look at where I am. Look at where I am. The amount of timelines that I've jumped and switched to be able to be here right now. I'm going to be a writer. I've always been a writer. I want to write, not just nonfiction about my life, about my wisdom, my experiences, and the things that I want to teach and express, but also creative projects, nonfiction, beautiful stories of all sorts, be all sorts of creations. I'm a writer, and I'm going to write. I don't know how successful I'll be. That's not my vision. My vision is not to be the next, J.K. Rowling or Stephen King. My vision is just to create and express and to complete it. To complete it and share it with the world. That's it. Whatever rewards come after that, blessing. But the reward is really being able to complete, publish, and share. That's the reward. And of course, I wish to continue in being of service as an astrologer, as a hypnotherapist, as a guide, as a counsel, as a friend, as a brother, to anybody who resonates with me and seeks to meet with me, seeks to visit with me. You know, you guys, something that's really hard for us humans to understand about manifesting and alchemy, the alchemical process, and magic is the element of time. You know, even in our spiritual communities and all this sort of stuff, we talk about vibrating in higher frequencies, higher dimensions, and manifestation happening quicker, more instant. And yeah, that's possible. I do it all the time. Manifest things out of thin air all the time. We all do. But for the big things, the long haul things, that takes time. For total self-transformation, total transformation of your entire reality matrix, that takes time. That's a gradual process of fine-tuning and tweaking and discovering and transforming yourself. Many people forget this element of time. I forget it, but not entirely, because the element of time is something I learned the moment I became an astrologer, the moment I started studying astrology, all the way back from when I was 17 years old, 2007, 2008. Wow. Because in astrology, we have transits, we have cycles. And some of these transits, some of these cycles, they go on for years and years. And you understand as an astrologer that the transits, the cycles, the degrees, and the progressions, and the meetings with other planets, it's all part of the process. And that takes time. And it's something that I've understood. And enough time has passed from 18, 19 years ago, being a young teenage man, studying astrology, putting my visions and my intentions out to the world. I've become that man in the best ways possible. I had to go through a lot of learning. I had to process a lot of my own shadows, a lot of my own anger, pain, fear, insecurities and self-doubt, my biases and everything. And with each new awareness came more transformation, more transformation, more transformation. Integrate. And just every time I thought I was finally getting something, some different form of karma, some different form of baggage surfaces. And I never once doubted or gave up, because I knew this is part of it. This is part of the cycle. This is what's next. I'll get through this. I have faith. Now, the only time where it got really scary and really unsure were the years of 2016, 2017, 2018, and 2019, because of what I was dealing with my health. I had a stroke, had brain tumors, some medications, pain, all sorts of issues, like massive weight gain, a lot of changes, and it was chronic. It lasted for years. That was the only time where I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what my future was going to look like anymore. I worried that my future was going to be just some sad, fat, pathetic man on disability and just could not surpass his limitations, his ailments, because of his story, because of what he's been through. Nope. I overcame that as well. Performed many miracles for myself in my own life. I relieve myself. I forgive myself. And I forgive you, all of you. I'm grateful for everything, the good and the bad, the pain and the bliss, the full spectrum of love and light, of death and darkness. I am grateful, and I bow before all the beings. Because I have been learning, I have been remembering, and I've been understanding what this means. There are still many mysteries. There are still many things I don't have answers to. But there are things that I know that are true and that are real. And I know so long as I trust myself, come from the heart, maintain mind-heart cohesion, that all is well, that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, that I'm doing just exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. Peace, y'all.